Right, let's talk about the aspects. Aspects. Oh, these are present in every single individual. Whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. So, I've written a bit of it to save us some time. So up here is collective light, consciousness, pure data, God. It is all the consciousness that exists. It's huge. It's the thing that makes up everything. And it extends everywhere. We're breathing it. We're walking in it. It's the life in which we swim. Okay? Now, when we come from this, we come as a query. If this is seeming a bit weird and you don't really know what I'm talking about, please go down below and read my book. It's on my website, it's free, it's short, and it gives this in a more concise manner, because I have a tendency to waffle. It's just who I am. So, from collective light, consciousness, pure data, God, everyone comes, every being comes. Now we come as a life cycle or a query, okay? And when we come into our physical body, we do so as one soul. One soul, one droplet of light comes through polarity and then becomes two. Okay? It becomes two, becomes the inner aspect. And we can call this a helix, is it? The torus. Okay. Now, we come through polarity and our feminine aspect moves like this. Now, when I say moves like this, we are only one light. It just moves in this fashion. So the internal aspect, this is internal, this is external. They're just focuses. So imagine one light with two ends. One end is the feminine, that looks like this, and it moves like this. And the other end of that focus is the masculine, and it looks like this. Now the masculine's job is to protect the feminine. The masculine forms the boundary of the being, okay? It's the masculine's job to protect the inner feminine. There's you protecting you, okay? Because we're going into an environment where we might require protection. Because this environment's already built. Okay, when we come into it, we have to essentially work within its parameters. Okay? So the feminine aspect is our passive light. It's light channeled directly from God. It is pure creative light. It is our subconscious. It is in being. It's not doing anything, it's in being. It's Eve. It's unlimited potential. It's connected to all things and all consciousness and all light. And it looks like a helix, but that's neither here nor there. Now the masculine is our external focus. It is the active portion of us. It's conscious, it's doing, it's Adam. But it's limited and it's an individual. It acts as a torus and it forms the boundary of the being. It is the protector. Okay? So ideally, we want them both oscillating together. Both these aspects, we need them both to function. We need them both to empower our inquiry. We're not just animated from nothing. It is the feminine aspect that powers the being. It's the feminine aspect that makes your heart beat without your conscious awareness. It is the feminine aspect that controls the light within the complex. It animates us. It is what wakes us up. It is the energy that keeps us moving around. Now the masculine is the physical body. It's the external boundary of the being. It's what makes me Sam. It's what makes you you. It's what makes Toby, my dog, Toby. Okay, the masculine interacts with the environment. forms the boundary and interacts with the environment. The feminine doesn't interact with the environment. It is collecting all data without restraint. But we can't house all the data consciously. That's what the masculine's for. The masculine uses the light and data and extends that into the environment as creational capacity. Now, the chief job of the masculine is to keep the being safe. That's why it forms this boundary. The chief job of the feminine is to connect the being always to God, to collective light, to pure data, to consciousness, to empower this inquiry. It knows your purpose. Your feminine aspect knows why you are here. It knows where you are. It knows that you are unlimited. It knows that it has access to all this creative light and that it can channel it in any moment into the environment to create brand new matrices. It knows that it's not confined to this. The feminine knows that you are not confined to the matrix. The masculine, unless it's speaking to the feminine, when I say speaking, I mean just oscillating together and forming a marriage. Okay, the rings. The masculine doesn't know that the feminine exists unless it's in touch with it, unless it is focusing within sometimes and asking itself, what's my internal voice saying? This is the internal voice and this is the external. Now don't get that confused with the internal critic, because that is an ego. That is something that the masculine forms. It is not the inner voice. The inner voice is never telling you you're not good enough, ever. The inner light knows that you are God. It knows that you are perfect. It knows that you're divine. It knows your divine capacity to create worlds. But the masculine doesn't know that. The masculine is trying to keep the being safe from all manner of scary, scary things it's heard about in the Matrix. So while it's trying to keep the being safe, it's trying to climb up here. Because when the masculine is harnessed within this matrix, the matrix is a hierarchical structure, and it is only the people at the top who are safe, because everybody else's existence depends on those at the top. If the top decides to just discount, stop feeding, stop doing everything for the beings below, they will die. If the top masculine doesn't feel safe and wants to spend all the bloody matrix money on some threat that doesn't exist, then that's within his remit. So all masculine aspects are trying their absolute best to work their way up this matrix so that they can be safe, because they're only safe if they're in control. And that's why the matrix is so controlled, because the masculines that have built, not that they've built it, but they have worked their way to the top of the structure, and that gives them safety. And if you're a masculine coming in here, we masculine, you want to be as safe as humanly possible. So you're going to try and work your way up here, because the lower you are, the more people can divorce you from your safety. You know, if you're a little guy down here working for a company, that company can fire you. Poof, your safety's gone, your home's gone, the structures you've built are gone. If the matrix decides to kick you out and decides that you're not valuable because you're following your own query, we could look at, say, Jordan Peterson, for example. Jordan Peterson, as far as I can see, is in purpose. He's a teacher, he's expanding light through knowledge. Now, as soon as this hierarchical structure didn't like something he had to say, he was booted out. Although he'd made it up to relative safety, he was booted out of the matrix because that's not how you're supposed to do it. You have to conform to what the matrix is to live within its walls. You have to earn your place. Now the feminine knows that it doesn't have to earn anything. It is already being. It knows that it's God. It knows it came from collective light and consciousness. It knows that its energy is unlimited and that it's connected to all beings. It has all the information that's ever been created by humanity in its subconscious, and that's available at any moment. But if it's not connected to the masculine, it can't do anything with that information because it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out here into the external. It doesn't speak in words. It doesn't understand. Well, it understands the matrix, but it can't interact with the matrix by itself. It needs the masculine to enact any real change within its environment. Now, what happens when the being is harnessing both aspects is that it can move within this creational hierarchical structure, but it doesn't have to. It can also go and create elsewhere. Now, the matrix might try and stop that from happening, but the matrix needs to power itself. It's only got limited energy. The matrix is masculine, it is limited. So it's only got a limited amount of energy to stop the feminine, and the feminine has an unlimited capacity. So when a masculine is working in tandem with his feminine, he's beyond the realm of the matrix. He can play in it, yes, he can move it, yes, he can live within its structure, but he also lives out of it because he doesn't need to gain energy from the matrix to survive. He is gaining energy from within. And energy is everything. Energy is just light. Light forms everything. And if you have enough light, you can create anything you want. When we have a project and we run out of energy or capacity or finance or whatever we need for that project, we did not run out of material. What we ran out of was creative capacity. So the aspects need to be flowing in motion. So when they're flowing in motion, buy new pens. Now when they're flowing in motion, they look like this. The feminine powers the masculine from within. He takes direction from the feminine, not because the women are in charge, but because the feminine knows the query and the feminine is unlimited. So the empowered masculine will take direction from the feminine because he wants to know the divine query. He wants to know his purpose. He wants to know that he is unlimited. And if he takes direction from the inner feminine, she's going to take him to that inquiry, and she's going to let him know constantly that he is unlimited. She's going to reinforce him. She's going to give him the energy he needs to take on the matrix and to change its structures as intended. This is alignment. The masculine aspect, me, emboldened and empowered by my feminine aspect that knows that all is light, that knows that I am God, that knows that the head of the matrix, the guy at the top, is no more powerful than me or no more important, that VIPs don't exist, and that this is a cooperative, collective multiverse in which we are all playing. And we are playing at extending light, extending imagination, extending creative capacity. When we are aligned, the external is empowered by the internal. I don't have to listen to anyone that says, you can't teach light from your kitchen. Light doesn't even exist. What are you talking about? That's bullshit. Energy doesn't get you anywhere. What are you talking about? Those things aren't accepted in popular culture. But I am not following popular culture. I am unlimited. I could stand here and teach you how to be a giraffe. If my feminine thought that was a good idea, I would be doing that. Because I am not bound by the matrix. I'm not bound by my skin colour, my gender, my hair, my anything. I'm not bound by my intellect. I'm not bound by the place I live in. I'm not bound by the badge that tells me I'm important. Because my feminine tells me that I am exceedingly important and that I am God. And I will not attack other beings because I know that they are also unlimited, that they are also God, that they are also pure data and their collective consciousness. So if you're attacking another being, you're not aligned. If you are fighting another being for dominance, you are not aligned. You are in your masculine and you're looking for safety. The feminine knows, the masculine in touch with the feminine knows that there isn't anything that can make you unsafe. There is no predator, there is no incoming threat. Now the Matrix makes threats. The Matrix will be like, the sky is falling, aliens are coming, death is upon us. The Matrix, through the information, that's a TV, through the information it provides, through the music it provides, through the structure it provides, tells us that we are victims. You can be a victim if you're in your masculine because other beings are doing things to you. But when you are instructed by your internal feminine and your feminine is speaking to your masculine, you know that although structures in the matrix can appear like dangers, everything is made of light. Everything is made of light. There is no bad, there is no good, there is no evil, there is no darkness. The matrix lives under the assumption that darkness is all around and that we're in danger from this incoming darkness. We're in danger because the darkness is coming. The feminine knows that darkness is just an absence of light. And the feminine knows that darkness is a canvas on which light can build. So if you want to be an empowered being, in the matrix or out of it, we're all in there, it's a wonderful place, it's made of light, it is the kingdom of light. But if you want to be your own being, and more importantly, follow the query which created your life cycle, the reason you are here, your purpose in light, you must get in touch with your feminine. And don't think because you're a woman and you've got boobs and you can feed children or whatever bloody thing we're calling a woman these days, don't think that because you're a woman you're in your feminine. That is not the case whatsoever. There is many. I'm usually in my masculine. If we are interacting with the matrix, we are in our masculine aspect, whether we are a woman or not. So femininity is the matrix idea. Femininity. So I can wear a dress here and I can be more feminine. I can present, my masculine can present itself in a feminine way. You know, I can wear a dress, I can talk like this, I can bat my eyes and conform to what the masculine believes to be femininity. But in fact, that's just the masculine's idea of the feminine. The feminine is none of those things. The feminine doesn't have a body or boobs or structure. The feminine is collective consciousness, God, pure data, unlimited capacity for creation. We are unlimited capacity. We are creative beings. We are light. There is no threat. There is never a threat. The only threat comes from the masculine when it feels unsafe. And the only time the masculine feels unsafe is when it is not connected to the inner feminine, and it feels unsafe because resources are limited. Because it's the feminine, wrong pen, it's the feminine that connects to unlimited light. It's the feminine that channels unlimited light. The masculine by itself does face a threat, and that is the threat of no energetic resource. So it's always collecting, it's collecting, it's collecting, it's buying things, it's making itself feel safe. It's looking to its external environment for validation. Whereas the feminine doesn't need validation because it knows that it is God. It knows that collective light created it, that it's connected to all consciousness. It can harness pure data. It's always safe. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Lots of love. Sorry for waffling. Bye.